A young girl feels her soul awaken to the call of emotions she cannot name. This is the Twilight world, where half-forgotten memories of childhood lead into a fantastic realm.
Was it a wolf or a man you killed?
When I killed it, it was a wolf. It turned into a man.
Here, dreams become reality, and our darkest fantasies come true.
The worst kind of wolves are hairy on the inside, and when they bite you, they drag you with them to hell.
Oh! How dare you come with my daughter?
She ran away! No!
They say the Prince of Darkness is a gentleman.
Gentlemen always keep their promises.
What have you done with my granddaughter?
Nothing she didn't want.
The Company of Wolves, where fairy tales end and nightmares begin. The Company of Wolves.
Right, The Company of Wolves. Yes. Hey up, it's Steve from Old Yorkshire Geek. And welcome to Friday Night Appointment with Fear, number 69. Dude. This week we're doing The Company of Wolves, as you may have guessed from that trailer. And Sci-Fi Quest is here already. It says hello. So hello back. And Windgrace says hello as well. So the next person say it 3 times. Maybe so. Hope we won't be talking about politics today. I know. I know. Not me. Anywho. What about them Mexicans, eh? Bonkers. Anyway, never mind that. Right, so, hang on, let me get rid of this. That was the trailer for The Company of Wolves, 1984 film. The second directorial effort from Neil Jordan, who you may know from Interview with the Vampire, The Crying Game, a film we did a while back, Byzantium, however you want to pronounce it, and a few others. So there we go. Who else? Right, hang on. I haven't sorted out the blooming video yet. Just bear with me. I've been sat twiddling my thumbs for like 20 minutes. Hey, just bear with me. Right, off we go. Right. Sorry about that. And Joshua Knapke's here. He says hello as well. Didn't say it 3 times though. He says hello, which I never got into that series. Joshua and Windgrace have no idea what I'm talking about. Sci-Fi Quest might, but hello were a comedy series on the BBC in the 80s. Never liked it. But anyway, yes, he's back. He's been missed, as Joshua Knapke. Don't know where he's been. Off gallivanting probably somewhere, having fun. Hopefully. Anywho, where were we? Company of Wolves, yes. Directed by Neil Jordan, starring Sarah Patterson in her feature debut. She was only 13 when she made this. I think she was 12 when she auditioned for it. She was 13, I think, when she made it, when it was filmed. And that could be a little bit, what's the word? Oh, God, my brain stopped working. Again, controversial, because it's a film about a young girl's awakening, if you know what I mean. In that way. But anywho, so starring Sarah Patterson, Angela Lansbury, David Warner, Misha Burgess, tell you when we get to him, who else? Brian Glover, and a few other people. Right. Terence Stamp appears briefly. And he didn't get paid for his role, but we'll get to that. Well, he kind of did, but not really. Not in money. Right. And just going to say, good to be back. RL was dragging me to Hale. Rugby league? Was it? Don't know. Anyway, right. So, and what else? What else have we got to say about it? It didn't do well on release. It had a budget of £410,000, which was, at the time was about $2 million, just over. Its box office was $4.3 million. Let's say it didn't do amazingly well. It was the first film from the newly formed Palace Pictures, Palace were like a company that popped up during the early 80s, maybe late 70s, I don't know, but early 80s. It started like doing video, straight direct-to-video stuff, or distributing videos. Like I think they did Evil Dead, the original, Evil Dead, the 1981, and other like horror films. They had a famous logo of a lightning and a castle, and it said Palace Pictures in like neon. I always remember that. It's one that stuck with me. But anyway, this was their first film as a studio. But there we go. Where was it filmed? It was filmed mostly on location at Shepperton, mostly on stages at Shepperton Studios. But there are a couple of location shots of the house. Does it say where it is? Hang on. I never checked. And I usually check this stuff and I forgot. No, it doesn't say. Never mind. So I don't know where the house is. We see this house. Anyway, right. So, real life. Right. I thought we were rugby league. Oh, dear. Right. So let's get on with the film, shall we? Obviously, I'll not be playing it just because I'll get into trouble. There's the Blu-ray, which I thought were going to be like a vanilla Blu-ray. So it says it comes on. It says ITV DVD. That's what it says on the thing that pops up. You might see it actually here when I start playing it. ITV DVD, and I thought, bloody hell, it's a Blu-ray. It's not a DVD. But it turns out there's a commentary track from Neil Jordan, which were cool. So I listened to that earlier on. Which were illuminating in places, not so much for most of it, but it was fine. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch, so you can watch me on all them platforms. You can also find me on Facebook, X, and Instagram. For social media things. Links are in the description for all those. As the links to my 2 books, they're down there. Buy them if you want to. Right, but Josh Temple's here. Never fear, Maddie's here. Harpoon! Sharpen at the ready. But feeling I need to dip it in silver for this one. No, you don't. Well, I don't think you do anyway. It's werewolves in it. The word werewolf or werewolves is mentioned once. But I don't think you need silver to kill them. But anyway, right, so let's get on with it. I make myself titchy tiny. There we go. I'll add the. Hang on. I'm all fingers and thumbs today. Hang on. D. Right, we're off. Just minimise those. Do. Full screen that bugger. What you starting for? Stop starting. Does that make sense? Right, off we go. Right, I shall add it to the thingy. Is it doing that now? It started doing. Have I pressed the wrong one? No, I haven't. Have I? I don't know. Oh, I pressed the right one. Oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry. StreamYard's doing weird things. Yes, the council convenes, the council of Joshers. They're all here. But Windgress says he always dips his harpoon in silver and garlic, usually the garlic butter sauce from Papa John's. That's a pizza place. I know that. Right, we're off. Why is it doing it like this now? I set this up so it, I weren't, encapsulated by the thing, and it did it on the side. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, never mind. Right. So off we go. Right. It says Granada International. It doesn't say ITV DVD like it does on my Blu-ray. But anyway, off we go. ITC Entertainment presents a Palace production, a Neil Jordan film. Sorry, there we go. As I said, this is sophomore outing. That's an American word and a half, isn't it? Sophomore. Actually, I thought I'll look it up. Where does the word sophomore come from? There we go. Where's the word sophomore come from? So I looked it up, and it's actually from the Greek, meaning a wise fool. So there we go. That's what it means. Right, anywho. Right, so there we go. Angela Lansbury. I think she gets top billing, Angela Lansbury, for some reason. But anyway. So we've seen when I was a kid, we called these Alsatians. Nowadays, they're always called German Shepherds, but when I was a kid, they were Alsatians. But we see this running through autumnal leaves. Here it is through a wood. I presume this is somewhere near Shepperton. Probably, don't know. Jumps over a log and knocks a frog off, or is it a toad? I don't know. Lots of animals in this film. I bet they had a lot of animal wranglers doing like creepy crawlies and frogs and snakes and stuff like that, and hedgehogs. But anywho, there we go. Special makeup effects designed and executed by Christopher Tucker, who I've never heard of before this or since. He's probably done loads of stuff, but I've never heard of him. There you go. Production design by Anton First, who were going to do Batman and Metal Gear Solid. It were on the back of this film that Stanley Kubrick loved the production design so much for this film that he got Anton First in to do Metal Gear Solid. Not Metal Gear Solid, Full Metal Jacket. Metal Gear Solid. Because I'm a gamer, you see. Full Metal Jacket, which famously has lots of fantasy elements. But never mind. I don't know why that. Why this impressed him to get him to do a Vietnam War film? I don't know. Guess Chris Tucker from The Fifth Element. You never know, but I doubt it very much. Right, off we go. So the dog's running through the things. Right, we arrive at this house. It's one of the few location shoots at this house. I don't know where it is. Here we see a young girl running towards the house with a armless statue, reminiscent of the Venus de Milo. But anyway, off she goes. A car pulls up, a Volvo pulls up, and this is Mummy and Daddy. Mummy and Daddy's David Warner. Mummy is, I have no idea. Let's have a look. Who plays Mummy? Where is she? Where the hell is she? Oh, there she is. Tussa Silberg, who I've never heard of. She plays Mother. I think there's only two characters that have names in this film. There's Rosalie, Sarah Pattison, and a sister who's Alice. And that's Alice, played by Georgia Slow. I nearly said Stowe then. Georgia Slow, who is the spitting image of Olivia Hussey. She is the spitting image. Interesting facts of Sci-Fi Quest. Alsatian was used for German Shepherds in the UK and some other countries during after World War I to avoid anti-German sentiment. Yes, I've heard that before, yes. That's it. When I was a kid, there were Alsatians, not German Shepherds. Bill Mooney. I don't know. Have I mentioned him? I don't know. It could have slipped out at some point. Anywho. So, there they are. They've arrived home and we learned that Rosaline is in her room suffering from stomach pains. So that's the thing. Is she flowering as a young woman? There we go. And so they don't get on, does Alice and Rosaline. So they send Alice up to wake up her sister. As we get a look at Rosaline's room. Lots of dolls that pop up in the film. There she is. Spitting image of Olivia Hussey. I think she is. There's the parents talking, saying, you should talk to your daughter, but she doesn't understand me, blah, blah, blah. Then the dog runs upstairs, and for some reason they've got doves up here in Rosaline's room. I suppose there's an attic space, looks like it, doesn't it? And there's doves there, look, for some reason. But what was that? Oh, it's just a painting. So the dog's waiting. Then Alice arrives, tells the dog to go away because she's horrid, and she's saying, knocking on the door, you've got to come, Mummy's calling. Oh, yeah, Bill Mummy. Oh, hi, Mummy. Not Bill Mummy. Yes. Steve, you were talking about Mummy and Daddy. Yes, I was once a Bill Mummy. When I read that, though, I always think Mummy, not Mummy. So that's why it's through me. It through me did Mummy. Anyway, right. Also, Alsatian comes from Alsace, yes, was in France, where the breed originated, became part of France after the war. But in this film, most of the wolves that we see are actually Belgian Shepherd dogs that were painted darker to make them look like wolves. I think there's a couple of wolves in it, or maybe one wolf that they use a couple of times. They got a fella in from Scotland. This fella from Scotland, apparently, this is what Neil Jordan said on the commentary. This chap in Scotland had two wolves. And so they arranged for him to come down with them so they could use them in the film, these two wolves. And on the way down, one of the wolves ate the other in the back of his van or whatever. So when he arrived, he wasn't best pleased, so he went back. So they had to get a wolf from somewhere else for the film. Anywho. Sure the doves weren't on loan from John Woo? Yes, possibly. Just releasing them. Just always has a dove release, doesn't he? Anywho, right, so this is Rosalind's room. This is a China doll. This is important because it looks just like Granny, Angela Lansbury. And hang on, there we go. And now you see her in the mirror. Mirrors are important for some reason. Is she an artist? Is that a drawing? No, it isn't. That's Little Red Riding Hood, isn't it? That's a woodcut, isn't it, from Little Red Riding Hood. A sister's shouting through the door, saying, and I know you've stolen my lipstick. And then we can see there's tissues with lipstick on, so she's been, she's wanted to become a young woman. And there's a white Rolls Royce. You know what? I never noticed that before. See, pausing stuff, you notice things. We see that white Rolls Royce later on in the film. Well, not that one, but, a similar one. Right. Anything else while we're at it that I've not noticed? I'm looking. Let's have a look. That could be reminiscent of what we see at the end of the film, that figure there. We see like a wolf girl at the end of the film, played by Danielle Dax. No relation to Curzon or Jadzia, or Esri for that matter. I don't think. Right, anyway. Right, off we go. Right. There she is in bed. I've no idea who that is. It looks like Tracy Ullman, but I don't know if it is or not. On there. But we see, there she's shouting through the door. Tell it, Olivia Hussey, spitting image. Right, here we see now, she got this My Weekly. Is that still going? 20p that cost in 1983 when they filmed this, probably. The cover says The Shattered Dream. Oh, you can't see it from there for my fat head. Hang on, let's get another. There is another view of it. Oh, there we go. There we go. She moves her hand out of the way. There we go. What are we saying? They should have used Alaska Malamutes. I think they did use some of them as well, or one or two of them. It does mention that in the commentary. It does mention that. But the ones that we see running about and jumping through stuff, I think they're Belgian Shepherds. They're more fluffy. Did you know this movie was originally subtitled Your Sister is a Werewolf? That's The Howling 2. Which I've not seen, I don't think. I might have seen it once. But it's famous for the end credits where Sybil Danning gets her boobs out something like 60 times or something like that. Just keep replaying it, don't they? Of her whipping her boobs out. Anywho. He's joking. Esri Dax, I'll be in my room. Nicole de Boer, very nice. Chad Zio, was fine as well. That was the subtitle for Ginger Snaps. Your sister is a werewolf. It'd be true as well. Anywho, right, so where were we? This cover of My Week, The Shattered Dream, which obviously relevant to this film because it's all about a dream. Joshua Knapp says, I love Howling 2, and not just because of Danning's endowments. Like I said, I think I might have seen it once, but I'm not sure. I probably have. I've seen the end bit. I will have done. I will have sat through it. It's crap, innit? It is. It's rubbish. But anyway. And then we see that's a picture of somebody screaming, which we kind of come to again at the end of the film. Anyway, she's asleep and she's dreaming. And there's a mirror there, a hand mirror, which also plays a part in the film. Right, so she's starting to dream now. We have all like creepy music going. Christopher Lee was great. He apparently didn't realise how crap the film was going to be, did he? Maybe the script read differently to what ended up on screen, I don't know. Anywho. Now, we see we've seen the dolls again. I said these pop up once or twice in the film. So she's starting to have a dream. We're going to go through the window. There's a teddy bear. Right, we're going through the window. Here we go. Right. Into Dreamland, Fantasy Forest. A lot of the forest scenes that we see in this, particularly stuff like this, are usually like bonsai trees, stood up against like a painted backdrop. That's how they did it, for the most part. Right, so she's dreaming. We see her sister running through a fantasy forest, a dreamlike, nightmarish forest. We see her running there. We see the dolls, and they start coming to life. Look, and chasing after her. This teddy bear grabs hold of her as she reaches out to it. There we go. So she runs away from that. We're getting a reminder that they're just toys. She sees a doll's house with a rat in it. And she goes, "Ugh, Olivia Hussey." I'm sorry, I'm going to keep saying that every time it shows her face. But then she starts being chased by these wolves. Oh, in a minute. And she sees a clock with the hands bombing round. Is that a relevant, time has no meaning in dreams? I'm guessing that's what that means. Dolls are never good in a horror. Neil Jordan don't class this as a horror film, by the way. I think he just classes it as like a dark fairy tale, I think. But he doesn't class it as a horror. Which is fair enough. It is kind of like a dark fairy tale, but it does have some horrific elements in it. So anyway. No idea why, but when I was younger and didn't know any better, I really liked 81's Wolfen. We did that a while ago. We did Wolfen on Friday Night Appointment with Fear. I love that film. It's brilliant. I think it's really good. Yes. So, I know why, because it's a good film. That's why. It is a great film, is Wolfen. Written by Whitley Strieber. Well, the book, based on the book by Whitley Strieber, who got abducted by aliens and wrote a book about that as well. Yes. Wolfen is great. Check out TOYG's FNAFW. FNORF. Whoever that is. I don't know. Anywho. Right, so we've seen the toys again. There's a photograph of young Sarah Patterson with a Alsatian. I'm going to bring that back. Let's reclaim the word Alsatian. This is cool. I saw this bit and then I was thinking this, obviously Anton First production design. This could have come from like Legend or some fantasy film, couldn't it? Particularly this scene, this bit here. There's an owl flying through the scene, mist and all that stuff. It's amazing. Beautifully shot. An amazing production design. But for a £400,000 horror film. Weird. Just got a notification. They're certifying in-game posted the History of Dax video. Kind of spooky, isn't it? It's almost as if we live in some sort of simulation where everything's connected. I love any film that has wolves. My favourite animal. Don't think I've seen that one. I've heard the song by Def Leppard. Yes, they're always listening. They are. And they can hear your thoughts as well. I mean, how many times have you been thinking about something, not written it or spoken it aloud, and then suddenly Facebook adverts appear? And connected to what you've been thinking about. You might be thinking about, I'm going to paint my shed or something tomorrow, and then suddenly there'll be adverts for sheds. It's bizarre. Anyway, that's it. They're listening to your thoughts as well. Anywho, back to Alice running through this fantasy land, much like Alice in Wonderland, I suppose you could say. But here we go. Here's the wolves. They're going to chase her down. Here they go. Nice blurry shots. It's not landing on nice still images. It's landing on blurry stuff. But anyway, in her dream, the getter. There they are. Do they do this by shining like a light on them? I don't know, because as you see, look. It's not like they're painted on. It's like are they shining a light that's reflecting on the things at the backs of their eyes? It must be, because it's a cool effect anyway. Anyway, the getter. Here we go. Look, scary. The demon dogs. The what was it? The Hound. What was it? Zaroff or something. The Hound of Dracula. Remember that film? That were cool. The darn holodeck is malfunctioning again. Quark. Anywho, so they get her right. So anyway. We hear her screaming as the dog's milling around. We don't see him get her, but we hear her screaming and the dogs are milling around. And then she has a little smile in her sleep because her hated sister has been got in her dream. So then the dream changes with more, bit like, Wayne's World, but different. More bonsai trees. And then we cut to daytime in this fantasy forest. As I said, more bonsai trees against a painted backdrop. It's effective. There's a stalk. I mean, what an amazing image that is, isn't it? I think it is. Anyway, it's gorgeous to look at, is this film. A stork just standing in the middle of a bridge with a church bell ringing in the background. It's amazing. And here we see that in this now fantasy land, fantasy village, Rosaline's sister Alice has died. The wolves got her in the wood. Yes, Scooby-Doo ending. Right, Raggy. But here we see she's dead. It's not showing, is it? Hang on, let's see if we can. There we go. She's dead. And I noticed there, has she? Oh, no, maybe not. When I saw it earlier on, I thought, does she have like 2 puncture marks? There's at least one there. So are they like hinting that maybe a vampire got her? They keep saying wolves got her. But we don't see any vampires in this, but they're hinting that maybe there's a vampire in the woods as well, in the forest. That's my headcanon. Anywho. So she had a crucifix round her neck, and her mother, Rosaline's mother, takes it off her. There we go, and puts it around Rosaline's neck. There's Angela Lansbury as Granny. Was it David Warner famously described Angela Lansbury as a right, see you next Tuesday? I'm sure he did. I don't think they got on during the making of this film. Sci-Fi Quest says, my channel will be getting another mascot soon, a beagle named Bailey. Cool. Can't wait to see Bailey. A boy or a girl. I didn't want to say he or she. I didn't want to assume the pronoun of your beagle. Hey. Looking forward to Bailey appearing. Anywho. Where were we? Yes. And she says, give your sister a kiss so you remember her. So she gives the dead body a kiss. On the lips. And so that's it. So they take her away to bury her. There we go. Shove her in the ground. Was it the father, the son, and into the hole she goes. This is going to be Rosaline's young suitor. I don't think he has a name either. As I said, it's just called Amorous Boy. And Amorous Boy's father is, it doesn't say here actually. Oh yes, it does. Brian Glover. Anywho, so the burying it. So like I say, he gives Rosaline a little smile, and she sticks her tongue out at him. And so there we go. Oh, and there's another. I think it's a toad, isn't it? Is it a toad or a frog? I think it's a toad, isn't it? Presumably that's going to get buried alive with poor Alice. But anyway, they go home. And they decide that Rosaline's going to spend the night with Granny because Mum and Dad want some time alone. So that's what they're doing. So they're going to head out into the, into the forest. For some reason, Granny lives miles away from the village. And I'm thinking, is she supposed to be a witch? This is why she lives, so far away from the rest of the village. I think she's a witch, but because of things that happen. I know it's a dream, so weird stuff does happen in it. It is kind of bizarre and surreal in places. But anywho, so here we go through this amazing forest set that they built at Shepperton. They built two stages. I think they knocked through a wall or something to connect them together. So anyway, that's a cool stage. He's a he, and does she float? The witch, like in the Vavitch. Is that what you mean? Like, I can never remember her name. Her with the weird eyes. What do they call her? I've forgotten. Aidan, my son's a fan of hers. Anyway. No, she doesn't. But she does, we'll see later. But she don't float. Right, so off they go through the woods. Granny's giving her pearls of wisdom. Don't stray from the path. Don't trust a man whose eyebrows meet in the middle. Yes, and your tail of joy. Yes, that's all. Thank you, Joshua and Wingrace. I've said it before. We went to see that. Me and Aidan went to see it at the cinema. the Vivitch, and it were all right. Quite enjoyed it. Aidan liked it because, as I said, he's a fan of hers. And I always remember that at the end, when the credits were going up, this woman and fella were sat next to us. And the woman got up angrily and said, "That's 2 hours of my life I'm not getting back," and stormed out. I don't think she were impressed. Anywho, she's grabbing berries from the bushes, his granny. But Rosalind sees some other berries, but obviously they're the wrong ones, so she drags her back. And then she's saying, the wild beast, no mercy, the pounce, blah, blah, blah. As I said, don't trust a man whose eyebrows meet in the middle. She says that several times. Then Rosalind picks up an apple from the ground, says, "Can I have one?" And the granny says, "Yeah, don't see why not." So she takes a bite. And as she does, there's a worm in it. There we go. A wiggly worm in the apple. So that's another lesson from Granny. She says, never eat a windfall apple and never trust a man whose eyebrows meet in the middle. There we go. She keeps banging on about that for some reason. Anywho, and then we see a barn owl going like that. We've got one that lives in the cemetery. We've got a cemetery spooky. I've got a cemetery. It's not next door, but it's not far away over there. And there's some old buildings that barn owls roost in. They make a lot of noise on the night. At least it wasn't half a worm. That's true. Extra protein. Right, so she's Granny's got some red wool because she were going to make a shawl for Alice, but now she says she's going to make one for Rosaline instead. So a red shawl, like Little Red Riding Hood, etc. So right, there you go. Soft as a kid. It's on about the wool. Then she's going to tell her a story now. There's several stories in this that they tell, because it's a fairy tale after all. They say once upon a time, more than once. But she's talking about the wolves of the forest. They're dangerous, but they're the wolves that are hairy on the outside. You've got to watch out for the wolves that are hairy on the inside. South Africa, if you don't look, you'll never know. It was there. That's true. I'm not Bear Grylls. I'm not eating bugs or anything else along those lines. Well, the World Economic Forum, they want us to eat bugs, don't they? Sorry, I'm getting political. Never mind. Shut up. Anyway, where were I? Hairy on the inside. Wolves that are hairy on the inside. They're the ones you've got to worry about. And obviously, men whose eyebrows meet in the middle. What do you mean, hairy on the inside like a furry coat? And she says, "Shut up, foolish child." And then she tells a tale of a young woman from the village who married a travelling man. And this is where we meet Stephen Rea. There they are. They've been married. And so they go into their marital dwelling. There is Stephen Rea, who you may know from, I don't know, I think he was in The Crying Game. It was in V for Vendetta, wasn't it? And it was also in Interview with a Vampire. And other stuff, probably. Secure the Bug Board. Oh dear. I bet, sorry for going off on a tangent slightly, but I bet some people unsubscribed today. I bet they did. Not me. Anywho, not from me. I'm talking about somebody else. Don't unsubscribe from me. I can't lose any people. I haven't got enough to lose people. Right, anywho, so, celebrations. Yay! Off we go. It says they're finally gone to Stephen Rea. So they're going to get down to their honeymoon and all that stuff. And she finds a hedgehog in the bed. She says, "It's my brother's idea of a joke." Instead of putting it out, she just puts it down on the floor. But she's been in lots of things. I've seen her face, but I've looked her up on IMDb, and yeah, she's been in a lot of British telly, so I've probably seen her in stuff in like Holby City and stuff like that. She's got one of those faces. I can't remember it. Angela Pointer or something like that she's called. Something like that. Right. Unsubbed from whom? I don't don't like to say. It's a popular show from a that do an Unleashed thing. Whatever. Went all political today. Isn't Hedgehog in the marital bed good luck? Well, hopefully, but it's not good luck for her, as we will find out. So anyway, they goes to get into bed, but he stands on the hedgehog by mistake. Oh, he takes his clothes off first. And there you go. His eyebrows meet in the middle, look. Uh-oh. Anyway, so off they go. But he stands on the hedgehog, so he picks it up and he takes it outside, goes to take it outside. And he just like throws it, poor thing. It'll be fine. But then he sees the moon is up. And we hear wolves howling in the distance. And then he says, I've got to go out for a minute. And then he looks back at her. There we go. Got to go out in the yard for a moment. Is it going to show us? Oh, here we go. There we go. His eyes have changed. Ooh. So he's obviously he's hairy on the inside, isn't he? And his eyebrows meet in the middle. So he says he's got to go out, call the nature, he calls it. So he goes out, and then Granny's telling the tale. So she waited, and she waited, and she waited again. I don't know why I'm saying it in an Irish accent. I don't know, but she doesn't. But he never comes back. So, they're wondering what's happened. So search parties go out. Oh, she sees wolves and stuff. She thinks her husband has been got by wolves. Wolves. So anyway, the village, they search for him, but they can't find him. She finds a wolf track under a leaf. She says, look, I told you I saw wolves. But, they said, well, he's gone. He was a travelling man. He's probably buggered off somewhere. But anyway, but she gets over it. She's getting angry about the wolves. Wolves are murderers. Oh, the wolves, aren't they? Wingrace says, watch the movie Deathbed for that. Lol. I've never heard of that one. Never heard of that one. Sounds interesting. Anywho. So anyway, she gets over it. Yes, she was a young thing. And there you go. And she got married again to a man who was not too shy to piss in a pot. And then we see the hedgehog drinking wee, I presume. But there you go. She's canoodling with her new husband, because remember, she thinks her old one's dead. And years go by. And I didn't like watching this scene, this one, where she's got the kids with her. There's a toddler there. She's been quite rough with the kid. And there's a baby down here. You can just make out. That the kids are all crying, and I know she's acting and stuff, and I presume the kids' actual parents are there on set, but she's shouting at them and saying, shut up, and all that, and being quite rough with the kids, which is realistic, I suppose. But anyway, she's had umpteen kids. I think she's had 3 kids with this new husband, and as you can see, feeding them stew. Everybody eats stew, which is fine. I love a bit of stew. But anyway, one night, presumably one winter's night, oh no, maybe not. One night, the travelling man returns. Here he comes, all dishevelled, several years later. And he knocks on the door, and she goes to answer it. And it's him, it's her husband. He says, my God. And here he is, looking like Stephen Pearcy from Rat, or some other popular 80s rock band. But anyway. He says, I'm starving. Give me some food. So she gives him some stew. And then he sees the kids. He says, whose are they then? They're not mine. And he starts calling her a whore and everything and all that stuff. Deathbed, the bed that eats from 1977. Terrible but amazing. See, I'll have to look that up now. The spiritual predecessor to Killer Sofa. Oh dear. So he starts calling her a whore and stuff. And they say, where did they come from? Out of my belly, she says. He says, I thought you were dead. Thought the wolves got you. And he says, better a wolf than a whore. Yeah. Ooh, you can hear that, can't you? Even though it's paused, you can hear it. And he says, I thought you were dead. I thought you'd never come back. He says, you hoped I'd never come back. And then he starts ripping his face off, because she throws something in his face. Probably some stew, probably. And So he starts ripping his face off, as we see. There we go. Which kind of reminds me, it's a similar scene, isn't there, in Nightbreed. That film Nightbreed, Clive Barker's Nightbreed, which I think is way overrated. People love that film, but I'm not a fan of it. But this one before that, obviously. So he starts ripping his face off. There we go. Kind of gory. But he keeps on ripping, and his hands start changing. There we go. And there we go. He's eventually taking all his skin off, and he starts turning into a wolf. There we are. So it's cool. That's what, obviously, it's puppets. You can tell the puppets, etc. But, it's fine. 1984, after all. But cool effects. Cool effects. By Christopher Tucker. Here we go. Anyway, then she screams, but then her new husband comes in. Oh, pardon me. He comes in, sees an axe, picks it up, and picks it up and chops off the wolf's head. There we go. It had grown fur in the meantime, by the way. Chops off the wolf's head, and in it goes into the bucket of milk. And you can't see the join, whether they swap out the wolf's head for the man's head. Look, you can't see. Look, couldn't see the join there, could you? Couldn't see it. And there we see Stephen Rea's. It looks not much like Stephen Rea, but never mind. It's more like Ronnie O'Sullivan to me. If you don't know who that is, a popular snooker player. And for some reason, his eyebrows now don't meet in the middle. Maybe they do a little bit. I don't know. But anyway. There we go. He's turned immediately back into a human. And she goes up. He says, he looks just like he did the day I married him. There you go. It looks just the same. So your husband gives her a good slap round the face. Like that. And then Granny's, finished her tale. And Rosalind says, oh, I'd never let a man strike me. And Granny says, oh, the nicest pint will have had their way with you. Which is probably true, to be honest. But it's the same with women. Anyway, so they're on about the wolves. It says, do the wolves, the real wolves in the forest, do they beat their mates? Not mates, as in, Fred from down the street. Mates, as in, women. But anyway, animals, all wild animals. Then it's bedtime. So she says, give Granny a kiss. And she's proper creepy. She's proper creepy. It's Angela Lansbury in this. Here she is. Before she became Jessica Fletcher, isn't it? But, right, so off they go to bed. There's the barn owl again. And she wakes up in the night. Oh, we see she's got this stole that I don't. It's supposed to be a stoat or a mink or something. I don't know. But say it's a mink stole, won't we? Anyway, for some reason it's alive. It keeps looking round and hissing at things. Why? Dunno. It just is. As I said, I think she's a witch. Right. So, what does she do? I can't remember. She goes back to sleep. That's what she does. I think she's the wolves howling outside. Right, so they're heading back to the village from Granny's house along the path, and they've got pythons in this forest. It's a dream, remember. It's a dream. Or is it an anaconda? I don't know. I couldn't tell you one. I couldn't tell the difference between one if you told me. Anyway, they get back to the village, and here's amorous boy playing postman's knock. I don't know what they call it. Blind man's buff. I don't know. Bluff. Is it blind man's bluff or blind man's buff? Whatever. Playing that, and he catches Rosaline. There you go. I caught Rosaline. He says, get away, you little pup. South Africa says, it was a python. There we go. Not a Monty Python. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe that's its name. For all we know. Right, so anyway, she goes home, and their mother says, there's too much food now, there's just 3 of us. I mean, a bit harsh, isn't it? But anyway, she's just been, the tough people in those days, whenever it is. There's the well that's central to the village, obviously, which comes back later on in like a scene that were added afterwards and wasn't written by Angela Carter. By the way, the film was written by Angela Carter and Neil Jordan, based on Angela Carter's book, but apparently mostly based on a radio play she did I don't know, because I'd never heard of it, and I'd never read the books. Anacondas are much bigger. I suppose it depends. There's probably different sizes of them, I should imagine. That one that got J-Lo, that were quite big, wasn't it? Anyway, so he asks her, she throws some water on him, and then he asks her out, will you come for a walk in the woods with me, after church on Sunday? And I think, she does. She decides to. I was just reminded that she's dreaming still. More model shots with bonsai trees and stuff. It's cool. They're gonna do it. And as Rosaline wakes up and watches, there we go. She asks her mum, "Does Daddy hurt you?" Says no, and then she tells her about what her granny's telling her about, men being wolves on the inside and all that stuff. Says Granny, she knows a lot, but she doesn't know everything. Anyway, this is where he asks Rosaline if she'll go for a walk. He's brought her some flowers, but anyway. So, now she's with Granny in the churchyard for some reason. There we go. All the graves round them. Maybe they're paying a visit to Alice. I don't know. I used to think they are. It says on that gravestone there, Alice. And she keeps talking about priests having kids and stuff and all that jazz. And then she tells a story about a kid whose eyes meet in the middle, who got lost in the woods, strayed off the path, and he comes across the devil. So here he is. And a white Rolls Royce appears. Here it comes. Remember we saw it earlier on the dresser, the toy one. With Rosalind with a blonde wig on driving it. And Terence Stamp holding a real pygmy skull, apparently. Apparently it's a real pygmy skull. Anywho, Wingress says, and they generally prefer buns, hun. I don't know what that means. I've seen Anaconda. If it's a reference to Anaconda, I don't know, but I've seen it once. My dad had an Indian rock python when I was a kid, when they weren't regulated. Okie dokie. Betton Tone Locks Anaconda. I think I've only seen the first one. With J-Lo and Thingamabob's. I've forgot his name now. Angelina Jolie's father. Him. He's in it as well, isn't he? It was 25 foot when he had to get rid of it. My mum made him because she was worried it would eat the puppies if it got out. Yeah, 25 foot. I mean, cracky, that's not much smaller than the largest ever, which were from Knaresborough Zoo and was 32 feet, I think. When I was a kid, that was in the Guinness Book of Records. Maybe it's bigger. Anyway, yes, that's huge. Kneel before Zod. Yes, it's Zod himself. And Chancellor Valorum. Anyway, he's holding a real pygmy skull. Pygmy adult, pygmy child, pygmy baby. Don't know. But apparently it's a real pygmy skull. You're allowed to call them that because that's what they're called, I think, maybe. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. Anyway, he's the devil. He's the devil in this. Riding around in a white Rolls Royce. And he gives this young lad a bottle of ointment. And he tells him to use it wisely and waste not, want not. That's all the instructions he gives. And then he drives off. There you go. Then off they go. And so he just rubs it on his chest. Was there instructions to rub it on his chest? I don't know, but he does. Rubs it on his chest in a kind of an awkward way. It's like he's an idiot. I don't know. But anyway. But then as we're watching, as they drive away, there's this scene. I don't know how they've done this. I'm trying to work it out. I don't know if. Right, I'll just show you. Right, you see that? It's obviously speeded up, innit? Because you can see his hand jiggling like that. So it's either speeded up in like a time-lapse thing where the take a shot, add a bit more hair, or, and take another shot, that sort of thing. Or is it a fake chest and they're pulling the hairs? That's how they do it, innit? Usually in like werewolf films. If to show hair growing, they film it in reverse and they pull the hair back through the false chest, don't they, to make it look. But anyway, whatever. It's obviously sped up, however they did it. And then see, he gets a big hairy chest, and then the trees Evil Dead style, start wrapping their fronds around him. And he starts, oh, hang on, there we go. And he starts crying out, no, 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 in a weird way. Look at his mouth. What's he doing? Why is he doing that? Oh, no. Where's it at the side? Has he had a stroke or something? Maybe. I don't know. But she wakes up. Oh, hang on. There we go. The real Rosalind, in the real world, wakes up and sees him in her mirror. And then goes back to sleep, I presume. Or maybe it's a dream within a dream. But then we're back with Granny. He says, that was a horrid story. I said, do you want a story? It was the God's honest truth. Then the vicar or whatever he is comes out to prune his trees. And, there you go. He says, you can't trust a priest. They're not called father for nothing. But she starts, disparaging him. But anyway. And so he lops off some branches and makes them fall on her. And it's all jolly good fun. Right, so anyway, they bugger off. And then Rosalind's back at home looking at spiders. They're not bothered about creepy crawlies in this film, by the way. Lots of spiders and, I said, animals and stuff living amongst them. And they're happy about it. I mean, I won't be. Not that big anyway. I know spiders are good. They keep flies down and stuff, don't they? Creep flies, not zips. Keep flies at bay. But I won't be touching it. Because I tried that, wasn't it? It jumped at me, a spider, and I screamed like a little girl. I went, oh! Anywho, Dad's come in. He starts eating the flowers that Amorous Boy, why did they just give them names? Amorous Boy gave her. But anyway, then we get to another little establishing shot of the village. And they're in church. This is actually another location. It looks like a studio. It looks like a set, doesn't it? But it's actually a real church near Shepperton Studios. Because according to Neil Jordan, they couldn't afford to build a set of a church interior. So they just went to a real church nearby and filmed it there. And apparently, up above, they had a nest of spiders that were actually used for the film. We'll see it in a minute, maybe. Unless it nodded off. There you go. You can just see it there. Nest of spiders. Actually, it's a real nest of spiders that shoved up there. They must have had a nest of spider wranglers. Anywho, sorry, Joshua Kanapke. The devil gave him the funky cold Medina, and he misused it. That tone lock again. It is, isn't it, I think. No names, because they're all archetypes. I know it's archetypes, I know. Yes, apart from, obviously, Alice and Rosalind, who have names. Give them names. Don't be lazy. Yes, this nest of spiders, and apparently some of them dropped down onto Angela Lansbury, who's there, and she freaked out, apparently. But anywho, she wasn't happy. But as they're watching, some of them dropped down onto Rosalind. Oh, there's Brian Glover, who you may know from Alien 3, American Werewolf in London, and Kes, among other things. Hang on, missed it. Hang on, see if we go back to it, see if it's short. There we go. Spiders dropped down onto her Bible. I'd be screaming. I would. I'd be screaming my head off. But she just gently pats them away. I bet that's not Sarah Patterson's hands. I bet that'd be some, spider wrangler's daughter or whatever. Anywho, but there we go. By the way, he's telling this. He's giving a sermon about the end of days, and from Revelation or whatever, where the lion will eat with the lamb, and everybody will be hunky dory, Anyway, so they're going for their walk in the woods now. She said she'd go, so she's going. Pardon me. And he gives her a kiss. Oh, there's a dove. John Woo's here again. And he gives her a kiss, and then she runs off, and he chases after her, playing a game. And so she kisses him then, and then runs off. Yeah, give me another. Have to catch me first. Kids, Kids. But, running through the forest. Oh, this is a nice effect that's coming up here. There we go. A rainbow appears in the fantasy forest, and So I say, looks nice, cool effect. It just like, dissolved into life sort of thing. And they just did that. It's just on a pane of glass in front of the camera. And there we go, they just dissolved it in. What else? Right. So she goes running off, and then she finds this tree. I said, beautifully shot, lovely colours. She finds this tree, and she just decides to climb it. So up she goes. Up she goes. Young amorous boy is looking for her. Where are you, Rosalind? He says. I'd have noped the F out of there if spiders dropped on me like that. Yep, I would have done as well. I'd have screamed. You can't find her, but as we see, she's there. She's just above him. He doesn't see her. So she carries on climbing. She climbs up. She finds a stork's nest. Remember, storks bring babies. Remember. So there's the stork, a real stork. I think it is anyway. There you go, 'cause it flies off. Look, unless it's a fake stork and just look real. I don't know. I think it was real. And it flies off. And hang on, there we go. And then we cut to a model shot. That's just a model of Rosalind up a fake tree with bonsai trees, painted background, and an animated stork flying away. It's fine. Only lasts a couple of seconds. Anywho, there you go. She finds a hand mirror in the stork's nest. I didn't know storks collected things like I thought it were magpies that collected stuff like that, but whatever. So she finds a hand mirror, and then all these little eggs, you can just make out the joins where they're going to open up. They all crack open as she, hang on, as she's looking at herself. They crack open. Come on. There it goes. And they've got little babies inside because storks bring babies. It's a dream, remember. And they all do the same. There we go. They're all cracking up with little babies in. And she just steals one. She just takes one. And, young amorous boy finds a dead cow with a baby cow. It's obviously been eating its mother. Looks like it anyway. Oh, that's not a crunchy chick. Is that some American thing? Is it like a Cadbury's cream egg or something? I don't know. Ooh. Anyway, he finds a dead cow. So he's crying wolf. He's the boy who cries wolf in this. So there we go. So she knows her tales, doesn't she? Does Rosalind. There you go. She's walking back with a baby in her hand. We don't know that yet. But a wolf's watching her. With bloody chops, as they say. From the game Fable. I've not played. I think I started playing it once. The original, way back when, the original Xbox One. I think my son's got one of the newer ones, but I don't think he's played it. Better than the wolf that cries boy, yes. Remember the boy who cries wolf. Remember Garak's sage advice is the moral of the story is never tell the same lie twice, innit? That's the moral of our Cardassian sees the story of the boy who cries wolf. Never tell the same lie twice. Anywho, obviously that's just the one that's just killed the cow. It's watching her, but we don't see her yet. Anyway, goes running into the village, falling over, crying wolf. And they all come out and says, "Where's my daughter?" says David Warner. Because remember, he went off for a walk with Rosaline. So he starts beating up the kid. Then Brian Glover comes out. So a big fight starts. The kid ends up in the trough, the water trough. So Rosaline's mother chucks a bucket of water over the fighting men. So, and then as they part, we see Rosalind. There she is. She's back. Or Rosaline. I think that's how I'm supposed to pronounce it. Hang on, where were we? So true, never twice. Yes, never tell the same line twice. Leave it to Garak. Yes. And he's not gay. Sorry, just thought I'd get that in. Even Andy Robinson has said that he thinks Garak's gay. He's not. He loved Zayal. Anywho. Or Zial, whatever you bloody call Anyway, right, so she's back. She's fine. And then she says, look, Mummy, I found a little whatever it's made of baby from a stork's nest that suddenly starts crying in a minute when we look at it again. Look, she's happy, look. And it cries because it's been stolen from a stork's nest. I have no idea what that represents. I don't know. Does it mean the mother's going to be pregnant? Does it mean thingamabob? I've put the name out. Rosaline is going to get pregnant. I don't know. Or is it just some random image? I have no idea. Answers on a postcard, please. Another model shot of the village. Is cool. Right, they're going to go out and get this wolf. Dad's got his shotgun. And Mother wants to give him a crucifix, for protection. He says, this is all I need. So off he goes with the rest of the village in true universal horror movie style, dark universe, an angry mob with torches and shotguns. But they're going to go out and they're going to lure the wolf. They dig a pit and they're going to lure the wolf with a duck, as we'll see. But meanwhile, Mother is bathing Rosaline. She's a big girl, but they're still bathing her. Hey, I remember that. I used to get bathed in the sink. My mum used to bath me in the kitchen sink. When I was little, obviously. Still got memories of that. Like 5-year-old or whatever. Anyway. Sorry, we're going off on a Garak tangent now. Nope, he's as straight as O'Brien, but he loves messing with Julian as he knew he was a worthy artistry to his intellect. Yes. Let's say he was friends with Julian, and he wasn't gay. Andrew Robinson and Alexander Siddig read a gay fan fiction online during COVID, I think. I didn't watch. No, I wouldn't have done either. That's probably where he got the idea. Then he loved Zial. Right, and I'm not surprised because, for a Cardassian, she was a Cardassian Bajoran hybrid, wasn't she? She was damn fine. Both versions of her. Right, where were we? Right, they're digging their pit for the wolf, to trap the wolf. There's Brian Glover saying that when he were a lad, wolves were as big as a man, bigger. And there's Amorous Boy looking after the duck that they're going to use as bait. But she's worried that they're going to hurt. She don't want them to hurt the wolf or whatever. I don't know. She's talking about stuff. Right, so they've dug the pit. They're going to leave the duck. So they go and hide, and the wolf arrives in a minute. She's talking about wolves again, that, hairy on the inside, what Granny's told her, blah, blah, blah. Then it's Rosalind's turn to tell a story to her mother now. She says, once upon a time, and Mother says, are you going to tell me a story? She says, maybe I am. So she does. This is a famous scene from the film, where she says, a young woman was wronged by the boy from the big house. So here we are, some wedding ceremony. Another location, this, by the way. They obviously built a tent for this wedding. It's not in a studio. So it's obviously sometime in the, 18th century-ish. They're all feasting at this wedding reception. The boy from the big house has got married. And they're going to cut the cake. But then, I was going to kiss her, and then he says to her, this is the happiest day of my life. Horrible woman eating chicken. But then somebody enters the room as the string trio plays. Here she comes, a young woman from the village who has been wronged by the boy from the big house. We're going to see the house. By the way, the house is, if it's going to show us, in a minute. There we go. Obviously, that's the house from the beginning of the film, wherever it is. She comes in. He says, thought you could just, do this and leave me and all that. And she says, you know better than the wolves in the forest. And so she curses them. To be honest, I think early on when I first saw this, not now obviously, she looks nothing like her, but I think I used to think, much like I thought Alice were Olivia Hussey, the Alice actress. I thought this were Toyah Wilcox, because she does look a little bit like Toyah, doesn't she? But not much. Anyway, so she curses them, and they all turn into wolves, right? So we have a big scene where they turn into wolves. Oh, they have a thing with this mirror. There we go. Hey, do an effect with the mirror where it breaks. And then they're all going to start turning into wolves now. There we go. Just as they're eating. She's all happy. Oh, and scary. And happy. But the band plays on. And the band played on, as Saxon would say. There we go. They've turned into dogs. It's supposed to be wolves, but they've turned into dogs. There was some other. Let's see if we can find some shots. Intermediate shots. There we go. There's the feet turning. And look, there's other stuff. There she is. Oh, got to be careful. Bit of boobage there. We're safe. We missed it. There's a nice head of a. No, it's not showing it, is it? I'm missing it. And an animatronic head. Oh, never mind. Whatever. Bloody skip. Never bloody catches it, does it? We see it, like one of the dogs or whatever. Oh, never mind. We've missed it. Never mind. Drinking. Right, so. Are we going to see it now? Is it just going to be dogs? The servants don't care. In fact, they're probably quite pleased that all their masters have been turned into dogs. And there we go. And they run off into the woods. And she takes the baby. She has the baby or whatever. And it's I don't know. I don't know what the moral of that story is. But there you go. Pleasure would come from knowing the power that she had. And she's rocking the baby up on a bough. She wants to be careful, doesn't she? Because when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. But when the bough breaks and all that. But anywho, so there we go. So that's another dream she's had. Right, so the wolf comes. Here it comes. Daddy the wolf. And it falls in the pit. Takes, it's going for the duck. Falls in the pit in a minute. Oh, it does, honest. Here it comes. Goes after the duck. And in it goes. The duck escapes, thankfully. And they go and shoot the bloody hell out of it, look. Poor thing. Blasting away. And I don't think they've got silver bullets. But they might have, you never know. I don't know. I think they're just after a wolf, not a werewolf. But anyway, so they've killed it. And David Warner chops off its front paw. And takes it back home. So here he is. And he says, it was the biggest wolf I ever saw. And he says, when I cut off its paw, I kept its forepaw as a trophy. But when I cut it off, it was a forepaw. Honest. And he puts it on the there you go. When he puts it on the table, she opens it up, or he opens it up. In a minute. There we go. It's a hand. We see it's a hand, and she wants to touch it. And it's even got a ring on it, look. Did the wolf have a ring on then? How did the ring stay on a wolf's paw? Don't know. So is this suggesting that this could be, related to the story she's just told about, all the noble people turning into wolves, and running off into the forest? Is this saying that this is one of those wolves because it's got like an ornate ring on that one of these village people, YMCA, wouldn't have, would they? I wouldn't think they would. Anyway, so he chucks it in the fire. Says, what should we do? Bury it or burn it? So he throws it in the fire. And there it goes, burning away. So now, we know that there's werewolves about. And Rosalind's crying for some reason in her sleep. Maybe it's just sad that a werewolf were killed. Anyway, there's a passage of time because winter has arrived. Oh, excuse me. And it's snowing now. Bear with me. This scene's to come. It's near the end, is that one. Winter's arrived, so it's all snowy. There's a young amorous boy working as a smithy. or a Smithy's assistant, whatever they call them. And Rosalind's out feeding the turkey, so maybe it's nearly Christmas, do you reckon? She's fattening up the turkey. I think it's a turkey. It looks like one anyway. Probably is. So she's going to go over to Granny's, and says, "If are you going to stay the night?" And she says, "Well, if she asks me to, I will." So that's where she's saying you're besotted with that old lady and her old wives' tales, and she likes a granny. So this is the Red Riding Hood now we're getting into, and so she's going to give her a bottle of booze. She says, "Don't stray, I trust you." She says, "Give this to Granny, a bottle of booze." It's apparently from a fella in the village who's got a still, so it's like moonshine that she's taking for Granny. He's getting ready for vampires, carving a wooden stake. Remember earlier on? I've just noticed that. So maybe there are vampires afoot, and he's a young Van Helsing. Sci-Fi Quest says, "Must be before Kate Beckinsale became a death dealer." Yes, it must be. It must be. I haven't seen them for ages, them Underworld films. I've got them over there. I've got the full set on, apart from the latest one. No, I've got the latest one. Yes, I've got the latest one, which is crap, innit? But the others are all right. Anyway, so off she goes, heading out. Oh, right. And there's some sort of mine near the village, and they're mining these crystals. What the hell are they? What is supposed to be some reference to the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or something like that? I've no idea. But let's say the mining, whatever that is, I don't know. Is it mints? The mining mints, cool mints. What they call them? Fox's Glacier Fruits. That's what they're mining. Glacier mints, not Glacier Fruits. They still make those Glacier Fruits. I always remember one time the ice cream. I'm going off on a tangent again. The ice cream man once called. We heard him with his. When I was a kid, they had a bell. Ding a ling a ling. They didn't have a. Yes, it's unobtainium, says Win Grace. When I was a kid, the ice cream man didn't have a jingle tune playing. He had a bell. Ding a ling a ling. And he once came and he'd no ice cream, but he still came round, and all he was selling were Fox's Glacier Fruits. So anyway, not Glacier Mints, Glacier Fruits. Anywho, right. So that's what they're mining. Fox's Glacier Mints. There you go. Amorous Boy's asking where she's going, saying going to my granny's. He says, "I'll go with you. I've got this to protect you." His wooden stake, and she's actually got a knife because her mother told her to take something to protect herself with. So she picked up a knife from the house. "I've got this to protect me." Ah. "That's not a knife. This is a knife," she says, and she's going to cut herself. She's not careful, silly girl. Anyway, so off she goes into the woods. This is a toad, frog, whatever, in the snow. I think it's a toad, isn't it? I don't know. And this way she comes across the huntsman, played by... I'm going to have to look his name up again. Misha Burgess, or I don't know. Bergese. Misha Burgess. I don't know. Does he have a link on Wikipedia? Let's have a look. Of course he doesn't. It's his first film anyway, because it says on Wikipedia, the first role in a feature film. Misha Burgess. That's what I'm going to call him. Burgess. Was a dancer by trade in real life, and you can tell because he's got an amazing physique, and I can say that as a heterosexual man, But anyway, she comes across him. Eyebrows meet in the middle. That's a warning sign, isn't it? That's a red flag, so to speak. Anyway, so he says he's got lost, and so he wants to know the way back, whatever. He asks where she's going to Granny's, and he says, "I'll go with you, and you can set me on the right path, blah, blah, blah." And he asks for a drink, and so they have a little picnic, but then he says, "I've got something that'll never, I'll never get lost again," and he's got a compass, it's an amazing device to her, always points north, and then he says, "I'll never get lost in the woods with this," and she says, "But you did get lost." And he says, "But I found you." But it is kind of awkward, this, as well, because he's kind of seducing her. Remember, she's only 13. Probably 12 when she filmed this. So it is kind of awkward. But anywho. There we go. Stuff like that's happening. Oh, dear. Anyway, there we go. She's having a drink of the moonshine. He's saying, do you know how strong that stuff is? A man in the village has got a still, etc. Then he says, I'll have a race, and but I can get, using my compass, he says, I bet I can get to Granny's house before you on your dreary path. He says, you know, if you get there first, she says she wants the compass, and she says, what if I lose? And well, you've got to give me a kiss. 12 years old. I think she's supposed to be. I'm sure Neil Jordan said originally she was supposed to be 16, but when Sarah Patterson auditioned, they kind of fell in love with her, and like I say, she was only 11 or 12 at the time, and so they changed it. I think she was actually saying in the films at some point that she's 12 3/4. But anyway, whatever. So they're going to go on a race, right? So he's talking about that, blah 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 blah. Yes, this is where he mentions werewolves, because he talks about, you know, men that are hairy on the inside. And then he gets cross. Old wives' tales, peasant superstition. He does actually mention werewolves here, if it says it. Oh, never mind. Bright young, tells you a girl like you believing in werewolves or something like that. There you go. It's the only time it's mentioned in the film, werewolves. But anywho, I deserve to be punished, and they all roll about and stuff, and they're all giggling and laughing. And it's kind of awkward, 12 years old, but never mind. I know I keep reminding you of that. Anyway, so where they decide to have this race. So he gives her his hat, and there you go, she's looking at a mirror that she found in the stork's nest, remember? I wonder what happened to that baby that she found. Don't know. But anyway, it's a dream. So off he goes, heading to Granny's. And obviously he gets there first, because it's Little Red Riding Hood. So he goes in. And as he goes in now, I think he captures something on the basket. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Is it a chicken or something? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, or the partridges or something like that, aren't there? The birds, aren't there? And one of them's bleeding. So for some reason, he gets some of the blood and puts it on his lip. There you go. For some reason. Maybe to make himself look, you know, bad. But anyway, knocks on the door, and she says, who is it? He says, it's just your granddaughter. So she says, come in. There you go. So in he goes. But you see, he's got yellow eyes, look. He's got his yellow eyes, and his eyebrows have gone all bushy. He's gone all Dennis Healy. Sci-Fi Quest might know who that is. And the stole hisses at him. So he eats it and presumably kills the stole, the mink stole, or whatever it's supposed to be. And then she says, get back. She does a Peter Vincent. She holds out her Bible or whatever and says, get back to hell or whatever. And says, I don't come from hell, I came from the forest. Because he's got a very enunciates, very abruptly. There's Misha Burgess. I don't know where he's from. I don't know if he's British or French or I have no idea. But anyway, she whacks him with something and he goes flying like this on the bed. And this is where he does his tongue. There we go. Cool animatronic head with a cool animatronic tongue. So she's like, oh, right. So she picks up, there we go, a red hot poker out of the fire, and he grabs it and burns his hand. Look, there we go. Bet that stings. So this is where he whacks her and knocks her head off. Hey, there we go. Goes flying across the room and smashes into porcelain. Remember the doll that we saw at the beginning? Remember, she's a porcelain doll. It's not supposed to make sense. But there we go. When I'm watching that, I think it actually looks like coconut to me, but whatever. So that's the end of Granny. There you go, that's coconut, isn't it? Meanwhile, Rosalind's on the way. Here she arrives. So Granny's gone. By the way, they filmed that at 100 frames per second. Just thought I'd say that. Yes, Dennis Healy, Labour Party politician. He was. Well, not only that, he was the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Famous for going, ho, 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 silly Billy. Showing my age now. Anyway. She knocks on the door. I don't know why she knocks on Granny's door. And the huntsman replies in a light voice, "Who is it?" And she says, "It's your granddaughter. Lift the latch and come in." See, he's got his scary eyes, look. See, full moon. Oh, aye, the moon turns into an eye. Looks the eye of Sauron watching. Cool. So she goes in, and then she says, "Oh, so you got here before me. You just said you would." So she's not getting a compass now, is she? But he has other plans for her, obviously. She asks where Granny is. He said, "Oh, she's gone out to collect wood for the fire." And she says, "Well, a true gentleman would have, wouldn't let her go outside." He says, "She won't be long." There you go. There you go. But then Rosalind takes a step back, and she breaks Granny's glasses that are on the floor, and then she looks into the fire. There you go. She looks into the fire and sees hair burning. So he says, "Is that all that's left of her? Because you can't stomach hair." I don't know who said that, but anyway. He was also Secretary of State for Defence and longest-serving Defence Secretary to date. Sci-fi question, just Googled him. Oh dear. It was also famously on Banzai. Remember Banzai, that TV show on Channel 4, Sci-Fi Quest, where they used to have challenges, didn't they? He passed on 3rd of October 2015. But it was on Banzai. I always remember this. I used to love Banzai. It was like a game show sort of thing where sometimes they get celebrities or other people to do challenges, and then they'd say they'd have Bert Cook, his voice would come on saying "place bets now" in his Chinese accent, and Banzai. Anyway, Dennis Healy was famously on there to see if he could get, I don't know how many, but a lot of 2p pieces in his mouth. He stuffed his mouth full of 2p pieces. I think it were 2p pieces. He got a lot in anyway, and it might be on YouTube. Let's have a look. I'm gonna check now. I need to know. Dennis Healy. Banzai. Right. Is it going to be on? It's not going to be on, is it? I saw it anyway. I didn't dream it. He shoved loads of I think it were 2p pieces. Back in the days when 2p pieces were really big. Not like the ones we have now. No, it's not there, is it? Hey, maybe I'm having a Mandela effect thing. I'm sure I saw it. You'd think it'd be on YouTube, wouldn't you? You'd think so. No, it's not there. Never mind. Thought I'd try. Anywho, enough of Dennis Healy. I forgot where I was now. You can't stomach hair. Is that all you left of it? Your kind can't stomach hair. There you go. What do you know about my kind young lady? But she says, "What big eyes you have, all the better to see you with." And then he says, "Take off your shawl, it's wet through." 12-year-old, kind of awkward. But she's kind of succumbing to him. Because she says, "What shall I do with it?" And he says, "Throw it in the fire, you won't need it anymore." So obviously we know what's going to happen now, don't we? He's going to turn her into a werewolf, isn't he? If she's not going to need it, or eat her. And he says, "Your kind can't stomach clothes either." But she goes over to the window, and looks out and sees the wolves outside. And she's feeling sorry for them because they're howling all sad because it's cold outside. Remember, if you're cold, they're cold. Let them in. That meme. Anyway, she turns around from the window. She's got his shotgun, or his gun, his rifle, whatever it is, holding it kind of probably not the way you should hold one. We're British, we don't know. And she shoots and makes him flinch. There we go. And but he gets up, and then he takes his clothes off for some reason. There you go. Takes his top off, shows his rippling muscles. Remember, he's a dancer. And so he wants the kiss. And there's this little scene where he's looking at her like a bird or something, you know, little cocking his head like that and stuff. And then he wants his kiss. So, yeah, indeed I won my bet, so now you must give me a kiss. Speaks like that. There we go. Will you be honourable and pay me? So she goes to kiss him. Oh, my, well, by the way, when he'd taken his top off, she said, "What big arms you have." He said, "All the better to hug you." So now she kisses him, and she says, "Jesus, what big teeth you have." And has he got a hairy thumb? So I just noticed that there. I think he has, hasn't he? And she says, "Jesus, what big teeth you have." Ah, look. He says, "All the better to eat you with." So she shoots him. There we go. But only in the arm. He's fine. And this is where he freaks out, and this goes on a bit too long, where he's spazzing out, giving it all that. Writhing about, showing his muscly physique. And this is where it starts changing now. So, here we go. That. This time the wolf's bursting from within. Remember, he's hairy on the inside. It's not like Stephen Rea taking his skin off. This wolf's coming out from within. Anywho. So here he comes. There you go. The wolf bursts out. I don't know what happens to the rest of the skin. I don't know. But here we go. The not over impressive animatronic wolf. You know, when all's said and done, it's fine. We hear howling, and then she apologises, and she goes over, and that's what's turned into. That looks like a real wolf to me. Is that a real wolf? Sci-fi quest, is that a real wolf? Possibly, I don't know. But it seems tame because she's loving it and giving it a love, and it seems happy. And then the villagers arrive in a minute. Oh no, she tells a story. I forgot. She tells her story. I don't know. Zaros. You mean Zoltan? I don't know. I know Zoltan's from Big, isn't it? But I don't know. I don't know. I can't press me Captain America. I understood that reference link, can I? Video, I mean. That was no wolf, says. I don't know. It looks like one to me. What is it then? I don't know. No. Oh, Zathras. Oh, Zathras? You mean Zathras from Babylon 5? I don't know. Anywho, she tells a story to this wolf, to the huntsman who's become a wolf, about a she-wolf came up from the world below through the well in the village, came up to explore, and she meant no harm to anybody, but somebody meant harm to her. And see, a villager appears and just shoots the wolf. Bang! Ah! So this she-wolf runs off and finds solace or sanctuary, whatever, in the churchyard. The priest comes out, vicar, whatever, comes out, says, "Who's there?" But we see the wolf has transformed into a beautiful young she-wolf vixen thing, whatever. This is Danielle Dax, by the way, who's super pretty. And you notice she's been shot in the arm the same way that the huntsman was shot in the arm. Just noticed that, actually. Big was Zoltar. Oh, Zoltan or some dude. I've not seen that. Not seen Dude Where's My Car. So, another Mandela effect going on there. For me, anyway. Anywho, so the priest bandages her wounds, and she can't speak, but that's super pretty. She's crying her eyes out. They did it with, they actually did like prosthetic, put tubes and stuff in. So all this water came running down the face. And you can see it's uncomfortable for her. You can see she's blinking and stuff when she's crying. If it shows, there we go. But her tears fall on this rose, and the rose turns red, which is actually an in-camera effect. It's obviously like litmus paper or something. They've speeded it up as well, which is cool. But But her injuries did heal, and she goes back to the well, back to the world below. And then we see her scurrying about, being super attractive. She was a singer or something, or Danielle Dax, in the 80s. I'd never heard of her. So I had to look her up on Wikipedia. She was a singer, or performance artist, or whatever. You know, she was one of these, like, from the new wave of popular music in the late 70s, early 80s. Anyway, she's still around. I don't know what she's doing now. But anyway, she climbs back in, crept inside to the world below, blah, blah, blah. And that's all she knows. So she's just told another story to the wolf. But then the villagers are going to arrive now, the next morning. And the huntsman wolf comes bursting out. Wolf. Comes bursting out of the window. So they go charging in, and they see a wolf there, sitting there, panting at them. Hang on, is it going to show us? But then Mother notices it's wearing Rosaline's crucifix that she gave her at the beginning of the film. And then Dad comes in. Hang on. Dad comes in with his shotgun. He takes aim. He's going to shoot it. And Mother says, "No, don't do it. No." He blows a hole in the ceiling instead. And Rosalind legs it off into the woods. So that's Rosalind. See, but he knows somehow. Rosaline! With his tooth missing. Well, he's actually got a tooth missing, I think. I thought it was just blacked out. It looks like he's genuinely got a tooth missing then. So off she goes, running with the pack, past the toys. It's like the beginning of the film now. We get the beginning of the film, but in reverse, I suppose. Running past the toys. There's the teddy bear. Gets his head knocked off. What else we're going to see? There's the fantasy mushrooms and all that stuff, which we did see in the middle of the film, I must admit. Hang on, where are we? Just looking at this. Oh, I've said that bit. And then there was Zardoz and Zathura as well. It's all the Zs. I've seen them. I've seen Zardoz and Zathura. And I've seen Big, but I've not seen Dude, Where's My Car? Anywho, right, so, hang on, where are we? So, they're running through the woods and the forest. And then we cut back to where I think Rosalind's still dreaming. Or is she? Because the wolves end up in the house. There we go, they're in the house, it's all overgrown. This is actually a set. They actually built a replica of the inside of the real house where the beginning of the film was shot. And they couldn't afford to build a bloody church, but they could afford to rebuild the inside of somewhere else. But anyway, they come running through, look, it's all overgrown. And what we're going to see is, here we go, they come bursting through this picture. Don't know what that picture's supposed to be. It's a real wolf, is that, Sci-Fi Quest? It is honest. It's a TV movie wolf. So they all come bursting through, and one comes bursting through the window in a minute. They go to Rosalind's room. She wakes up as one comes through the window. Here it comes. Real wolf, honest. And she screams, much like the cover of a magazine that were next to her on the bed. Ah, ah. The wolf comes through. Could be an anaconda for all I know. But there we go. And the toys all break and fall down. And then the film ends. We just hear a screaming. But then we get another voiceover. I think it's Sarah Patterson telling this voiceover. It's from a poem, which I can't remember. But we get that. There you go. There's the I don't know. Never stop upon your way. I don't know. It's talking about growing up or something. I don't know. But that's the end of the film. That's the end of the film. Was it a dream? Probably. Fake wolves. Not fake, just not real wolves. There's a difference. Anywho. So that's the end of the film. That's it. It's a cool film. No idea what's going on for the most part. As I said, it's a dream / nightmare. But it's cool. I really like it. It's a cult. Got a cult following. It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. Encore. Encore. Ow. Oh dear. Anywho, right, so we'll leave it there for that one. That's it. The company... didn't mean to do that. There we go, remove that. Make myself big. There we go. The Company of Wolves. It's cool. By the way, I forgot to mention. He did actually say the line of the film. Did the huntsman when they were talking to her in Granny's cottage? He says, "I prefer the Company of Wolves," and I was like, "Oh, it's the name of the film." I forgot to mention that. But anyway, yes, it's a pretty interesting film. It's worth a watch. It's a good film. It is a good film, and it's lovely to look at. Like I said, really well shot, and great set design and all that, and like I said, some cool effects for the time. I said 1984. It's well worth a visit. I said you can get it on. You can get it on Blu-ray. It's a nice copy. It's a nice copy on Blu-ray. It looks nice. And there's an audio commentary with it. An ITV Studios release. Weird, isn't it? I think it's because they got a lot of money, I think, from... It was the early days of, like, Channel 4 in the UK. And Channel 4 did, like, Film 4. And I think it was one of the first films that probably got funding from Film 4. But anyway... Is it available on HD DVD? I've got some over there. HD DVD. I've got The Mummy and... What else have I got? I think I've got Superman Returns and... What else? I can't remember. I'm going to have to dig them out. I've nothing to play them on. Well, I have. I've got a HD DVD player that came with my Xbox 360. And I found you can plug that into your computer and it actually... Well, it did on my old computer. I don't know about this one. It worked as an external DVD player. Or Blue HD DVD player, and it worked, with whatever software you've got on. Anywho, so there we go. We'll leave it there. So, crikey. Right, what's coming up next? Hang on. Little girls. Little girls. This seems to say, never stop upon your way. Never trust a stranger friend. No one knows how it will end. There you go. That's what she says at the end. Sci-Fi Quest. Doing my job for me. As you're pretty, so be wise. Wolves may lurk in every guise. Now as then, 'tis simple truth. Sweetest tongue has sharpest tooth. There we go. I think it's on Wikipedia. The what it says. I've seen it somewhere. I've seen it somewhere. I don't know. Or it might be on IMDb, maybe. Whatever. Let's have a look. What does it say? Because it's from a poem, and I can't remember who wrote it. There we go. Voiceover at the end of this movie is the moral from Charles Perrault's original Little Red Riding Hood story, Le Petit Chaperon Rouge, which warns young girls always to be wary of charming strangers. There we go. So that's the moral at the end. Don't talk to strangers, basically. And don't stray off the path. And don't eat apples off the floor. And don't trust a man whose eyebrows meet in the middle as well, obviously. Right. Or people who wear thumb rings. Don't trust them either. Anyway, right, we'll leave it there. What's coming up next? Sunday, I'll be doing my news stream. Hang on. And never go to a dentist played by Corbin Burnson. So that's another reference I don't get. I know who Corbin Burnson is. I'm guessing he played a bad dentist at some point. What is the film called? The Dentist. Is that Corbin Burnson? I don't know. Anyway, what's coming up? Let me reach round here. There we go. On Monday, Angela Carter and Neil Jordan wrote the poem, not according to IMDb. They didn't. Says here it's from the voiceover at the end is from the original Little Red Riding Hood. That's what it says there. Maybe IMDb is wrong. I don't know. But anywho. Yes, that's good. Horror franchise. Oh, his good horror franchise. Yes. His not. Oh, whatever. The Dentist. Oh, yes. That I've not seen. I've heard of it, but not seen it. Anyway, what's coming up? Monday. Sunday, my news stream. I might put the link in the description. Not in description, in the chat. On Sunday, so people can pop in if you want to pop in. And, I can just sit back and let you do all the work. Monday, Magnificent Mondays. This week is Battle Los Angeles. Yeah, I like that film. It's a bit goofy and a bit cruel in one scene. One scene in it I don't like. I think it's cruel, but it's necessary for the film, I suppose. And next Friday's appointment with Fear, I've decided already. We're going to do. Oh, where are we? There we go. Dracula, 1979 Dracula, starring Frank Langella and Laurence Olivier. One of possibly my favourite version of Dracula, to be completely honest. I love this film, it's great. Apart from the bits when they show the sun, like the eclipse of the sun and all, it looks shit, sorry, but anyway. It's cool. Angela Carter adapted it for the movie. Okay, well, she adapted it then, didn't she? She didn't write it. I'm watching it again before the stream. Oh, Battle Los Angeles, yes. Wow, awesome sauce. Yes, Battle Los Angeles or Dracula, both are great films. Like I say, I love the 1979 Dracula. So that's next week's. I know my next 2 lots of Magnificent Mondays, I'll tell you later. The next one, not Battle Los Angeles, the one after, is about a chap who likes to say, I am the law, a lot. But that's going to be a double bill. And then the week after that, we're doing The Last Starfighter. Fingers crossed my Blu-ray will arrive in time. I've ordered the Blu-ray. I was going to get it on Amazon Prime. I noticed it was on Amazon Prime. Because I've got it on DVD, but I haven't got it on Blu-ray. I noticed it was on Amazon Prime, but only in standard definition. I thought, I'm not buying that. Bloody standard definition. Bloody hell. Anyway, I saw it on eBay for, not a lot of money on Blu-ray. So cool. I ordered that, so hopefully that'll arrive soon. Anyway, Wingrace says, you should do retro top 5 movies of the year for like the 70s and 80s. Crikey. I'd have to go through them then. And I don't know, not many people have watched my top 5 of 2023. Anyway, never mind. I'm Dracula. Yeah. Cyborg Cop. No. Not that one. I Am the Law must be Demolition Man. It is. Got it in one. It's close, actually. It's Demolition Man adjacent. One of them is, anyway. 79 Dracula, Battle LA is all right, if I could recall correctly. Is that Alan Eckhart? Yes, it is. It is Alan Eckhart and Michael Pena and some others. Michelle Rodriguez, she's in it as well. Yep. Dread, yes. And Castellar, Daniel Garcia is here. This film has an evil ending. I don't know about evil. It's got a confusing ending. Is it real? Is it not? Is it a dream? Is it not? I think it is a dream. But anywho, we've done now. I did watch your 2023 top 5. Meant to comment. Cool. You'd probably disagree with me. I love old Emrod. Don't know what it's on about. Oh dear. Anyway, right, we're going to leave it there. Right. Hang on, we still haven't done. Killer Party has a very dark ending. Okay, right. Is that the one I looked up last week, didn't I? And I forgot to download it. Hang on, where are we? There we go. Yes, Michelle Rodriguez, yes, she's in it. I did like 2 of them, yes. My films, my list, yes. I liked all of them, though, my top 5. Great as always, pal. Take care, see you soon. And what happened to your stream that you're supposed to be doing yesterday, anyway, Sci-Fi Quest? I was waiting for it popping up. Never mind. Anywho, right, we will leave it there. Hang on, In the Mouth of Madness. Keep up. I can't keep up with the chat. There we go. The Mouth of Madness has a crazy ending. Yes, it does. That's a decent film. It's one of John Carpenter's, I don't know, I would say one of his better ones. So, like, not his best, but not his, but better than middle, if you know what I mean. It's a cool film. Right. Next game after Mirage, it's going to be RoboCop Rogue City. That's what I'm doing next. Hopefully I can play that. Not well enough to do a stream. Oh dear, feeling like shit at the moment. Oh dear, I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon. Tin tomatoes and pepper. That's my cure-all. Or just drinking a lot. Keeping your liquids up. Fluids, whatever. Love vampires from Carpenter and Starman, says Castellar. You know what? I wasn't a big fan of vampires, to be completely honest. Starman's all right. Obviously, The Thing and The Fog and Escape from New York. And that's not a horror like though, is it? But never mind. But neither Starman. You know what? I've got a soft spot for Ghosts of Mars. Don't know why, because it's rubbish, but for some reason I really like watching that, and I don't know why. But anyway, it's a mental health thing, pal. All right. Oh, that sort of not feeling great. All right. Well, just try not to dwell on things, I suppose, is what we've got to. All I can suggest. Keep yourself busy, basically. In the Mouth of Madness and Event Horizon had a great double feature. Well, I've done Event Horizon, I think. Yes, I have. And Big Trouble in Little China, yes, that is great as well. They should do a sequel to that. They should do. Ghosts of Mars is what it is, entertaining at least. Yes, let's say I've got a soft spot for Ghosts of Mars. Yes, and Natasha Henstridge is why I like Ghosts of Mars. Probably got a big part to do with why I like it as well. Obviously, famously, it was supposed to be the next Snake Plissken film, wasn't it, originally, apparently. It was going to be like, Escape from Mars sort of thing. It was going to be one of those, wasn't it? Like a sci-fi in-space version of Escape from New York, wasn't it? But that never happened. Sunshine and Event Horizon, good double feature. I've seen Sunshine once. Sorry. It's the Danny Boyle film. And I liked it till about near the end, and it just fell apart for me near the end. It started off as this cool, kind of creepy and spooky space sci-fi, mystery thing, and then it just turned into a slasher film by the end. But anyway, never mind. Anyway, right, I'm going now. Oh, Tim Rose has arrived now. This is Tim Rose, who says he's not the Tim Rose who did Admiral Akbar and Salacious Crumb and many others. He claims he's not, but I think he really is. But he's got his popcorn and his drink ready, and we're just finishing, so he's too late, mate. I'm just going now. I'm going to order a curry. That's what I'm doing. Has anyone ever told Danny Boyle that the pipes are calling? Yes, I bet they have. I bet he's sick of hearing that. Tremors, yes, everybody likes Tremors. Hang on. Sci-Fi Quest likes Tremors, doesn't he? Where are we?
Damn it, Melvin!
He's only kidding.
You came that close. Too close.
Oh dear. Sunshine's like a combination of Event Horizon and Space Odyssey. Yes, it is. It's all right. Tim Rose is crying. Look now. Anyway, right. So, and time for Quest does love Tremors. Right, I'm going now. Not yet. Scanner Cop 1 is terrific. You know what? I've never seen them. Of the Scanners series, I've only seen the first one. Weird. And it's all right. I like Scanners. It's Michael Ironside's. Is the star of that film. The fella that plays the main character. Don't ask me his name. I've no idea. He's bloody awful, and he's terrible in that film. Don't know why he bloody got that part. 'Cause he's proper wooden. But anyway, it's Michael Ironside's film, the first one. Anyway, right, I'm going now. So, thanks for watching, and thanks everybody for joining in. Win Grace and Joshua Knapke and Josh Temple and Sci-Fi Quest and who else we had? Castellar and Tim Rose right at the end, and did anybody else pop in? I've got to check. No, I think that's it. I think I got everybody, didn't I? I think, yes. Right. Anyway, so thank you all for keeping me company in the chat. See, it's still going on now. Look, still going on. Look, Screamers. I've seen that one once as well. That's Peter Weller, isn't it? Is it? Is that Screamers? I think it is, isn't it? I've seen it once. Visiting Hours with Ironside. Michael Ironside, yes. Not Raymond Burr. Right. Going to order a curry for myself. Right. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. Don't have nightmares. And until next time, I'll see thee. And by the way, I didn't do a special intro for this film because I forgot. Recently, I've started doing, specially made intros for each Friday Night Appointment with Fear. But I forgot to do Company of Wolves because I'm dopey. So we've got to make do with the original one. Right, so it's long on.